I'm gonna give you 3 tips to improve your speed as a lineman, and we're gonna start right now. What's up, everybody? I'm Dane Miller from Garage Strength, and if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in learning about being more explosive, gaining strength, becoming a better athlete, and all other types of athlete performance stuff, make sure you comment down below, you hit that subscribe button, and you ring that notification bell. So we get linemen all the time that come into our gym who are trying to lower their 40 time. They're trying to get a little bit faster on the field. They're trying to get a little bit quicker off the line so that they can take their play to the next level. They're struggling to run below a 5.5 40, below a 5.4 40, and because of their size, they've never been trained properly. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna provide those 3 key tips to increase your speed as a lineman and to improve your play on the field. And starting off right off the bat, we've gotta understand what are the key aspects behind speed. So if you understand that the 3 key elements behind speed are 1, rate of force development. We've gotta be fast right off the start. We've gotta be able to develop force rapidly. 2, we've got to be able to drive through the drive phase. We've got to be able to accelerate. We have to be capable of optimal acceleration through that drive phase while we are working towards top end speed. 3, we have to have solid technique if we want to run fast. Now for linemen, the 2 most important aspects are rate of force development, that starting position, and number 2, being capable of driving rapidly through the drive phase. So those 3 key lifts that we're going to provide are all going to be based around rate of force development and acceleration. That exercise number 1, we are going to be doing heavy sled work, and that means driving forward, pushing forward, and pulling forward as well. So when you're strapped up and you will be leaning forward, the big key here with that heavy sled work is that we've got to hold good posture. We've got to make sure that our shin angles are in alignment to drive and to propel our body forward. If we check out that sprint-based training program where we talk about lowering our 40 time, it's the same concept here with the sled work. We've got to be having that very steep shin angle, having good posture, and being capable of driving forward. If you've got a weak posterior chain, I recommend putting on the harness and driving forward while you're pulling. If you have weak quads and you're a little bit slower in that drive phase, I recommend pushing to really focus on quad development. But either way, while you're using those heavy sleds, you've got to be thinking about accelerating through the drive phase, and this is going to carry over very, very well if you're a lineman who blocks downfield, who's a pulling guard or anything along these lines, or if you're a defensive lineman, it's going to help tremendously when you're trying to hawk down those running backs. Tip number 2, we need to train in full range of motion with back squats, with front squats, and with the Olympic lifts. If we can think right off the bat, what is one of the major keys? It's rate of force development. So that means the Olympic lifts are going to teach you how to develop force rapidly. Stop fearing these lifts and recognize that they can get you to the top. They can get you a massive first step. When I played arena football, I was a scrub. I hadn't played football for 8 years, but I was still capable of making an arena football team, a professional football team, because my first step was so fast right off the line from doing the Olympic lifts for years, from squatting ass to grass for years. And that's one of the biggest things for linemen is that we are heavier. Linemen are heavier people. We're bigger people. We're taller. So we have to be strong and we have to be explosive on that first step. And we've got to have good trunk stability. And that's where doing full range of motion squats is going to increase your mobility. It's going to increase that trunk stability, and it's going to carry over to significant gains in speed. Tip number 3, linemen must do plyometric work. So this means we need to learn how to jump. We need to learn how to develop force rapidly. This is going to create joint stiffness, which is ultimately going to lead to greater ground reaction forces, which is going to help us run quite a bit faster. So if we can think about from that plyometric work, we should do some from a static start where you're sitting on a box, you're down in a deeper position, and you could do hurdle hops. We could do stair jumps, bilateral stair jumps. That's going to decrease the load on the joints, but it's going to lead to a faster turnover. I also recommend doing unilateral plyometric work, jumping side to side while your rear leg is elevated and you're trying to get up to a box. This is going to help you getting off the line rapidly and making different cuts if you're a pulling lineman or if you're running stunts on the defensive line. But ultimately, we need to use these 3 tips. Work with that heavy sled drag. Try to get 5 to 7 sets in a day when you're training those legs. When you're doing full range of motion squats or cleans, try to get 5 to 7 sets. That's going to lead to a tremendous amount of strength. And then when you're doing plyometric work, 1 to 2 days a week should be plenty. You can get 5 to 10 sets of various exercises, maybe 2 to 3 in a day. Do 2 to 4 jumps at a time. Make sure you get a good rest and you're recovering very, very well from this training. And this is going to dramatically improve your speed on the football field. Head over to garagestrength.com and you can pick up our How to Get Faster training program specifically designed for linemen. Check out this video right here that you can click on to continue to learn how you can improve that speed as a lineman. Peace.